What's up, YouTube? I wanted to give an update on what's been going on. We're now looking at 8 weeks post-surgery on my Mobi-C disc replacement. I'm pointing to my scar. I had the surgery January 28th, and so now it's April 3rd. So we're a little over 8 weeks. Obviously, everyone's going crazy with being at home with the coronavirus and stay-at-home orders and whatnot. So I hope whoever's watching this, that you guys are safe, that your families and friends are safe, that your enemies are safe. This obviously is it's not a coronavirus video, but definitely a time for prayer and to be safe and be grateful for all the things that we do have, especially if you're healthy, especially if you haven't lost your job, and things of that sort. But so it's been about 8.5 weeks since surgery. I've been trying to get this video done for about a week now, because last week is when I had my 7-week post-op doctor's appointment, and it was the big one for me because it was the one where I was looking forward to it, because it was the one that they gave me clearance to do physical activity, to lift, to run, things like that. So I wanted to get into a little bit about how that went for me. I thought I would be given clearance to do everything, and that's not the case. So it was a learning experience for me, and so I went in. And it was exactly 7 weeks post-surgery when I went in for this appointment. It was the big one, like I said. I was looking forward to it. I went with my son, and I had all my questions written down on my phone, and all my questions, of course, had to do with activities and when can I do them and whatnot. And so, just to get to the point, lifting, not a problem, but the doctors did say, which I haven't done, even before my injury, I hadn't done a whole lot of things where, like, the bars on my neck, they didn't want any of that. So, like, if you do, behind the neck, shoulder presses, they don't want, any of that at this point. Again, even before my injury, I kind of cut behind the back stuff out of my routine because of an old shoulder injury, where I noticed that when I got rid of behind the back stuff, it was I relieved a lot of the shoulder pain I was having, and that's a whole nother story. But I had a torn labrum and had left shoulder surgery back in 2006. It was an old boxing injury, and had surgery for that. And so just generally, I don't do any behind the back shoulder presses. I don't do any behind the back lat pull downs, nothing behind the back for me. So that wasn't a huge deal. Obviously, when they gave me the okay to do the lifting, they told me baby step it, and I have been. Coincidentally, the day I got cleared to work out was that night when they closed all the gyms. And so I have a little setup here in the garage, thank God, where I've been able to do things with dumbbells and a bench and things like that, and kind of baby step it. And I've been two full weeks now, or 10 days or 11 days of working out since then. But so that's as far as lifting, baby stepping it, nothing crazy. I'll be honest, when I do shoulders, I haven't even really done yet. Even with light dumbbells, I haven't done anything over my head, just because I'm kind of subconscious about it and wanting to take my time. So that's something probably I'll introduce again next week, and just kind of, do that, baby step it, and go, slow with that. Because I love, for the side delts, I love doing, seated or standing, dumbbell presses and whatnot. So looking forward to getting back to that. As far as running, so I went into this appointment thinking that I'd be given the okay to run like I was running before. A little history on my running. I'd never considered myself a runner. but I do run a lot. I do a half marathon every year. Been fortunate, I've done 4 now, and every year my time gets better, so that's, great. But when I'm not training for the half marathon, I'm running 4 to 5 times a week, and I'm running 3 to 5 miles. And the way I do my running is I do kind of like intervals. So I do it like in a HIIT format. And so I thought, hey, given clear the okay and go run as well. Not exactly. Told me to slow that down and baby step that as well. And she told me, the doctor said, to start with half a mile runs. Okay, so literally the first time I ran, it was half a mile. I felt okay. It's humbling, because the first physical activity I did when I was given the okay was I did the half mile run. I did 10 push-ups. Those 10 push-ups were very difficult for me, and it's unbelievable. One little surgery, spine surgery or whatever, replacing a herniated disc, and kind of how it takes your strength away, and you kind of build up to that. But nonetheless, I think today I ran 1.5 miles. I've kind of every day that I've ran, I've added 0.10. So I started with half a mile, then I did 0.6 miles, then I did 0.7, and so on and so forth. And so that's where I'm at with the running. I'm feeling fine. I'll give myself, I probably won't do more than 3 days in a row running. So I'll take at least 1 day off of running after the 3 days. My lifting is usually 5 days a week, which is what I've been doing since I got back. I started the first week lifting. I did 4 sets. I do full body workouts, so I did 4 sets of every body part, kind of just to get back in the swing of things. This second week I just finished today, I was doing 5 sets. And so I'll just keep pushing that as my body, lets me know it's okay. But that was the restrictions with the running. Baby steps, and to get later on back to my regular runs. But again, everything encouraging, guys. I mean, when you think about 7-8 weeks you weren't able to do stuff, I always tell myself I'm blessed. I was 7-8 weeks without being able to, lift, run, play baseball, jiu-jitsu, all those things. There's people that have a lot worse issues than that, who can't do any of those things for much, much longer periods of time. And so I think my mind has been helping me along the way, just to realize that I'm eternally blessed for that. Jiu-jitsu, I told the doctor, I'm gonna hold off on that. Of course, shortly thereafter, the academy closed anyway, temporarily because of the coronavirus. So it's not something that I'm really thinking about right now. I do, I kind of battle with that, to be honest with you, for you, jiu-jitsu enthusiasts out there. Because of my injury, there's part of me where, yes, it's a controlled environment, and I don't have any desire to compete, so that kind of throws that caution flag out the window. Because if you compete, then you're not having that communication that you would in an academy with a training partner, where you can say, hey, look, had surgery, take it easy with the chokes and anything with the neck. I'll tap out quick. You won, no problem. But I still do kind of debate that as to, am I going to go back with restrictions, and just communicating that to my training partners? Hey, look, I can't do this. Is it worth it? Was it not? My ego kind of will take into effect at that point. It's like I told my wife, I know it seems kind of foolish to go back, even though, again, I can communicate these issues. But I just picture myself, 2, 3, 4 years from now, walking in my closet, or wherever I put the gis, and I see the gis, and knowing that I kind of quit, that'll be something that'll probably eat at me. So I do think at some point I'll go back. Because everything's closed right now, it's not something I think about every day, because even if I wanted to, even if I felt 100%, I still wouldn't be able to train because the academy is closed. So that's where we're at with jiu-jitsu. Baseball, huge part of my life. Not only do I play in a men's adult baseball league. Don't get it twisted, I don't play softball. It's an adult baseball league, okay? Mind you, we're all has-beens and whatnot, but it keeps me feeling young, and it's, competitive, and it's hardball, and it's wood bat, so I enjoy it. not only do I play in that, but I also help my son a lot, who plays travel ball. He plays for the middle school team. And so literally every day we do something with baseball. She gave me the go-ahead, the doctor, to continue playing baseball. The only restriction she said there was she didn't want me head first sliding. I said, no problem. The league's on hold because of the coronavirus, so I'm not playing anyway. So what I'm doing now is, I have it set up here in the garage where I can hit with my son, take batting practice, hit off a net, things like that. There's been no restrictions there. Up until the part where the park's closed, I was able to hit fungos to my son in the outfield, hit him in the infield, pitch him batting practice, hit myself, like I said, take ground balls, no restrictions, no problem. So as far as baseball, that's been great. If the league was going on right now, I would just have to stay away from sliding head first, only because the doctor said, God forbid, an infielder trying to turn to or whatnot gets me with a knee by mistake or something like that, or kicks me. There's the possibility for injury, hitting my head or my neck, or both. So one little disappointment, and again, I hate to say disappointment because I recognized how blessed I really am that I can do these things, even if there's other things I can't do yet. If you see my setup here, big boxing guy, okay? Did a little boxing back in the day, nothing crazy, don't get excited. I did it more to get in shape, but I would spar a lot, and there was a time where I was sparring every week. Really enjoyed it, had no ambitions of going pro or anything like that. I was actually a teacher at the time. But I was sparring, and I was doing it more just to stay in shape and just learn the skills. And that's, the sparring stopped once I had shoulder surgery. But I obviously still enjoy hitting the bag. I'm a police officer now, obviously, just like jiu-jitsu. The boxing is something that it's another tool that I don't want to go out there and, manhandle anybody. I don't want to use the little jiu-jitsu I know on anybody. I don't want to have to punch anybody or defend myself for anybody or be quick or agile against anybody. But if I need to and when I need to, it's there. So I really enjoy, hitting the bag. I love jump roping, and I can't do either one of those things right now. They said no. I kind of laughed with the doc, not laughed, but with the doctor, because anytime I would ask her a question and she kind of would be like, she put a face and kind of like, I'd be like, never mind, I'm good, won't do it. No rush with that. So when I asked about the boxing, literally just hitting the heavy bag, jumping rope, no, because when you hit the bag, the pounding that you're getting, kind of the resistance, I guess, she didn't want that right now. And with the jump roping, the constant jumping up and down, obviously, she didn't want that either. I asked, how is that different from the running? The running, she said, as long as you got good form, you're not really bouncing up and down like that. You're moving, and so that was the restriction, biggest restriction that kind of was a bit of a surprise for me. No boxing yet, but that was that. If you see here, also, I'm a big Harley Davidson enthusiast, and so that was a big one as well, because I got the okay to start riding again, reluctantly by the doctor, because she's not a big motorcycle enthusiast and she doesn't like it at all that anyone's riding, but health-wise gave me the okay to ride. So I've been on about 4 or 5 rides already. Actually, a couple of days ago I went about 200 miles round trip, just because it's one of the few things we can actually do, and you can actually be socially distant from your fellow rider while you're riding, make a loop somewhere just to get out, get some fresh air, because that's all we got these days. But I was given the okay to ride, so no issues there. As far as work, again, I am a police officer, and if I was gonna go to light duty, I would be fine to do that now, but I'm not, because I'd go crazy, stuck in a box, doing paperwork and answering phone calls. So I got about 4 more weeks before I'm cleared to go back to work. They will actually clear me exactly 3 months post-surgery, which would be April 28th. I'll be clear to go back to work. And so, you know, I'll be going back to work still in the middle of all this coronavirus, you know, stuff going on. But again, grateful to have a job that's not going nowhere, and grateful that I'm healthy to go back to work. So for right now, I'm just kind of, you know, rehabbing, you know, just trying to get my strength back to normal. I haven't had any of the old symptoms come back. That's probably important to mention. I haven't had any of the tingling pain on my left arm at all. Haven't had any neck pain. You know, obviously when I started working out again after 7-8 weeks, a little sore, nothing crazy, not injured, and just kind of using common sense, not trying to do anything where my neck's gonna be at a tilt, you know, at an angle or turned or whatnot. You know, so when I'm doing chest on the bench and an incline bench, things like that, I wanna make sure that my neck is straight. I don't wanna, you know, kind of be looking down or looking too much up. Just kind of keep it nice and straight. But that's about it. Obviously, any questions or concerns, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. You know, I can't say enough how many people help me because of videos like this, and so I just want to repay the favor. I will make another video. My next appointment is May 11th, is my next post-op. So in a little over a month. And I am looking forward to that one, to be honest with you, because I want to get the okay to do my boxing activities and stuff. So that's going to be a big one. Every one of these post-op appointments is a big one. But I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Probably went a little bit longer than I wanted to go, but stay safe. Any comments, let me know, and God bless you guys. Take care.